For the committee, from the Committee on Petitions, we will resume from yesterday. The resolution to the Louisiana Conference of the United Methodist Church, which is found on page 188 of the pre-conference report. The chair recognizes Tom Dolph.
Good morning, conference.
Good morning, Tom.
This is our third full day of being together, and I just need you to know it still brings me joy to see you all. I am Tom Dolph, Conference Secretary, pastor of Grace Community United Methodist Church, white, male, older than the bishop adult. Again, the petition can be found on page 188 of the pre-conference journal. It was submitted to the LGBTQIA+ team for review. That team affirmed it with a vote of 10-0. It, in essence, asks us as a conference to affirm the sacred worth of all individuals, including transgendered, non-binary, and those within the LGBTQIA+ community, as well as encouraging our churches to be aware of and involved in the life of those people. Bishop, I place this petition before you.
Thank you, Tom. You have heard the proposed resolution. Because it's coming from a committee, it does not require a second. It is moved to adopt this resolution. The question is on the adoption of the proposed resolution to affirm transgendered and non-binary people and consider the welcomeness of our churches and agencies. It is now open for questions or debate. Each person will have up to 3 minutes to speak. Are there any questions? Okay, Caleb, will you come forward to speak to it?
Yes, I believe as the submitter of the petition, I am allowed to speak for without that accounting for, either for or against. So my name is Caleb Porter, Asian American, young adult, layperson from the Southeast District, and my pronouns are he, him. You might ask, why is this important? Data indicates that during their lifetimes, 82% of transgender individuals have considered suicide, with 40% having attempted. Rates are even higher amongst transgender youth, with 86% of transgender and non-binary youth having considered suicide and 56% having attempted suicide. That is why this is important. You might ask, why now? According to the Trans Legislation Tracker, as of this week, the number of bills nationwide being considered that would negatively impact the lives of transgender and non-binary people has risen to 793. These bills specifically target transgender and non-binary people, preventing them from receiving basic health care, education, legal recognition, and in some cases, the right to exist publicly. Such a specific and targeted attack requires a specific and targeted response. That is why now. You might ask, why is this such a big issue over such a small subset of the population? According to studies, approximately 21,600 adults identify as transgender in Louisiana. That is more than the average attendance of all United Methodist churches in Louisiana. There are more transgender and non-binary people throughout all of our communities, in many of our congregations, and our families. This resolution seeks to do two things. One, clearly, emphatically affirming our transgender and non-binary siblings as valid, loved, and worthy individuals who we as United Methodists name clearly and are willing to stand with. And second, allow for the discernment and awareness within our churches, offices, and agencies around how we are intentionally creating space for our transgender and non-binary siblings. Let me be clear, this does not require any church or entity to do or change anything. What it does do is start a conversation in many of our places across the conference about what it means to welcome those of diverse gender identities. I believe that United Methodists in Louisiana, we want to be a more welcoming, more loving church. I believe that we want to create spaces for anyone who walks through our doors to feel comfortable, to feel affirmed, to feel like they have a place where they belong. Out of this belief, I ask for your consideration of this resolution.
Okay. All right. Is there anyone else who wishes to speak? Please move to a microphone. Okay. Please identify yourself.
My name is Wesley DeRoche, white male, youth, bisexual. My pronouns are he, him, lady, Asbury United Methodist Church in Lafayette, Louisiana. I would like to make a statement on the resolution regarding the LGBTQIA community. I would like you to try and picture what it's like to be part of the queer community. I understand that for many of you this may be difficult, but all I ask is that you try. As a bisexual male, I know what it's like to be afraid to be discriminated against for who I am. This is my first time at Annual Conference, and I have had such a wonderful experience. I have experienced God's presence in so many ways this week, and I am so glad that I came as a youth delegate. I have met and made several new friends. Imagine them finding out that I'm bi and shunning me for the rest of the conference or saying to each other, "What? I hung out with a sinner?" I might catch myself saying, "And to think, this wouldn't have happened if I just kept my mouth shut about who I am." Can you imagine can you feel the discomfort? Can you feel the shame? Can you feel the embarrassment, like finding out that you don't belong? Now take that feeling and multiply it. That's what members of my community deal with on a daily basis. This is what we need to help stop. That is why we need to create faith communities where everyone can be themselves, feel comfortable, safe, loved. Thank you so much for hearing what I have to say.
That was a speech for the petition. I don't see anyone else at the microphone. Is there anyone against? Okay, see none. Moving. Caleb, did you have a final comment?
Yeah. So as a closing statement, yesterday I shared lunch at a table full of queer delegates to the annual conference. People of all ages, backgrounds, and from across our state. We talked about the future of our church and our vision for what we wanted the Louisiana Annual Conference to look like in the future. We want to be a church that people choose because of who we are, what we stand for, and who we stand with. To move out of lukewarmness that we have been trapped in out of fear of people leaving. According to a 2023 study, transgender and non-binary youth who had at least one accepting adult in their life had a 33% lower odds of attempting suicide. One singular adult can have the impact of reducing a young person's risk of suicide by 1/3. Imagine an entire room of adults, a room of hundreds of United Methodists representing 56,000 United Methodists across our state, emphatically stating, "We are with you." That is what this resolution seeks to do. Thank you.
Thank you. Are we ready for the question? This motion requires a majority vote. The question is on the adoption of the proposed resolution to affirm transgender and non-binary people and consider the welcomeness of our churches and agencies. All those in favor of this motion, please raise your green card. Thank you. You may lower them. Those opposed, please raise your red card. Thank you. It carries. It has been affirmed. Thank you, Caleb.